Great quarterback play coming in for this game. We have Blade Hinton playing for Faith Christian under head coach Jeremy Jones. He had an outstanding season last year with a quarterback rating of 83.8%. Great stuff there, and we look to see how he plays against this strong defense over from East Central.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience on both sides too, as well as he can also catch the ball. Defensive-wise, he has 21 tackles and 2 tackles for loss and an interception as well, so watch out for him on the defense side as well.
And we're doing the prayer right now. Doing the prayer right now. Check, check.
He needs a shot to switch to get him something.
And let's go. Here we go.
As these pregame ceremonies get set to close here, we'll begin kickoff shortly. We await the coin toss from these two teams. I want to talk about East Central for a minute. We have head coach Daniel Smith. Fun story heading into this one. He actually coached Aiden Tyndall of Faith Christian in last year's All-Star game in December. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do with his defense, knowing the offensive strategy there from that player.
And he kind of has an advantage of that, so he kind of knows some of the offensive calls and whatnot. So maybe call audible sometimes on defense if eligible.
Some of the key players for this Patriots team for East Central, we have Micah Smith, Barrett Weems, Nick Nelson, and Judah Bush. Coach has spoken highly of all these guys in the past as they look to make a big impact here in this one today. Of course, we can't forget about the other Patriots with head coach Jeremy Jones. We've already mentioned starting quarterback Blade Hinton with a completion percentage of .596 last season. Absolutely astounding player. His younger brother playing on the team as well as a backup quarterback. We might see him get some snaps today. well-rounded team altogether, both of these schools, as we look to get things started here in a minute here in Gatlinburg. Another key player I want to talk about for this Faith Christian team is, of course, Aiden Tyndall. We already mentioned before that he played under Coach Smith in that All-Star game. But for his own team, he's proven to be one of the better backs they have. He's a returner from last season, a great performance there, and he looks to kind of get the ball running. He's playing at halfback and fullback at 5'11". And the captains and coaches now coming to center field.
All right, guys, come on in and shake hands.
Number 2, defensive back, Pinson. Number 3, play-hitting quarterback and defensive back. Number 14, wide receiver and defensive back.
All right, guys, welcome to Gatlinburg. You're my away team. We're going to call you white. You're my home team. We're going to call you red. We're going to go ahead and get the coin toss out of the way. Reapers is heads. One is tails. Tails. Call it in the air loud enough for Greg here to hear it. Ready? Heads. Heads is called. It's tails. Defer. You want to defer? Okay, you deferred. You want the ball, right? Which way would you like to kick? Okay, go ahead and put your backs to the clock. White, put your backs here. Faith won the toss and elected to defer to the second half. All right, shake hands, man, and get ready to play.
And with that, it's about time to get things started here. Faith Christian winning the toss and electing to defer. And the lineups now to take the field. Kick things off for our first game here in the Black Bear Brawl.
Should be a couple of games here that are going to be really great that we have for y'all this evening too. Can't wait to watch them all.
Oh yes, we got a big game after this at 12 Central, 1 Eastern with Augusta and the Tennessee Tigers. What a game that is expected to be. Of course, following that game at 4-3 Central, we have Cincinnati. And man, they're playing a big one there in their big game against Cabarrus. More games to come after those, and we'll keep you updated throughout this broadcast. As the opening kickoff formation takes place. Looks like it'll be Alston Joyner kicking off now for Faith Christian. The junior for this squad has proved to be an excellent resource now as kicker and punter. It's Chris Fitz set back to return for East Central. This one's picked up by Barrett Weems. Weems now, and he's going to screen it over to the right. That is Chris Fitz, and he gets brought down at about the 25.
Rarely do you see a lateral on the offside, on the kickoff, but, you know, try anything you can at this point.
It's one thing we've seen over the 8-man world, and a lot of times is with these games, they like to be a little
During
more
the play, we had an illegal forward pass, 5-yard penalty from the spot of the throw. It's first down.
And I guess it got maybe an extra yard on there it wasn't supposed to. They're calling it an illegal forward pass. It's one of those things you have to be careful about when you're doing those laterals. You don't want to make sure it gets ahead of you a little bit.
Yeah, it did look like the guy was just a tad bit ahead of him. You got to be smart on that. You got to know your angles, and you got to know how to get behind you or in front of you.
East Central now, it's Dax Vaughn lined up here. The ball is snapped, and it's handed off. He's going to get snubbed on that one. And that was Levi Jett.
Faith Christian able to win in the trenches there. Offensive line has to do better on that. Hopefully they fix things.
Go now, second down as they try to recuperate here. So he's going to roll left, and he does not get it off in time. It was Andrew McGowan he was intending to throw to. That pass incomplete, and it is now third down for East Central.
It's really tough for some quarterbacks to be able to move like that and throw the ball precisely how they want it. But practice makes perfect. Maybe he's been practicing that, and some stuff he probably still needs to work on with the beginning of the season coming up.
Third and a little long now as they get set. And here comes a deep pass, and it's incomplete as he overthrows it just shy. That looked like it was intended for Micah Smith.
That was just way too much on the ball there. His guy had good speed, and he was almost there, but just not enough there. And great coverage by the corner as well.
On fourth down, they're going to send the punting unit in. It looks like Faith Christian is going to get their first chance here.
Which is rare to see in 8-man. Rarely do they punt here. And don't be surprised if you see a fake as well.
Barrett Weems punts. It goes up the middle, and it's going to be picked up by Vincent Wilson, one of the key players for Faith Christian. Wilson runs right and is brought down at the 39. And the Faith Christian offense now taking the field, prepared to roll.
Wilson on the return, tackle by Marsh. It will be first and 10 to go from the 41-yard line going in.
First and 10, the first offensive drive for Faith Christian. They're going to see if they can have a little more luck than East Central did on their first. The ball snapped. He hands it off. He does not go too far as he's brought down.
Looks like the turf monster maybe got him on that one. He slid a little bit, couldn't get his footing straight, and gave it advantage to the defense, able to get him.
For sure now as Blade Hinton lines up, it looks like they might be handing it off here. Ball snapped, and he's going to pitch it over to Jordan Rue, who runs left, and it gets tackled for no gain.
Nick Nelson, the young sophomore there for East Central. He is really heavy with the tackles, 116 with 20 tackles for loss, make that 21 for him for his career.
And a great defensive play over by East Central. Faith Christian now on third down, trying to recuperate for the lost yards here. Get out of the huddle. It's now third and long. Hinton in the back. Takes the snap, looking for a man. He's going to throw it up the middle, and that one is caught, and that's going to be a first down for Faith Christian, the first of the day.
What a perfect ball thrown to his man. And I think that's number 2, Vincent Wilson. He did a lot for the passing game, 18 receptions, 193 yards, usually averages 10.7, as you saw, with 5 touchdowns.
Yes, I spoke with Coach Jones before the game, and he said Vincent Wilson easily one of their best key players on this squad. And here as they line up after the first down, it's going to be Hinton who runs right and gets tackled for a short gain.
And Hinton's very dangerous on the run game as well. He has 15 carries, 102 yards, usually average 6.8 yards, and he has 2 touchdowns. But don't be surprised if it ends up being more by the end of this game.
Yeah, and great offensive drive so far by Faith Christian. They've managed to get the ball down the field where they need it to be. And now they're in the red zone as they look to maybe punch this one in. It's Hinton in the back. Gets the snap. He hands it off to Vincent Wilson, who gets brought down for a short gain there.
Vincent is very helpful on the run game as well with 56 carries. He has 579 yards, and again, averages 10.3 yards and has 5 touchdowns. So please believe he'll be the guy they'll give the ball to.
And what a strong average there. Something coaches absolutely love to see, and he continues to do that on this drive now. It's Hinton standing back as he awaits the snap. As he gets the ball, he's looking for a receiver. He's going to throw it up the middle, and I believe that was, yes, it was broken up. That pass is incomplete. It was tended for Paxton Vick. It'll be 4th and 5. And it looks like they're going to go for it.
Don't surprise me. You see something like that, usually 8-man extreme. If it's a good mid-yards, they're more than likely going to go for it, and they don't have much for a first down.
Hinton steps back. He's going to throw it to his right, and that pass is complete to Paxton Vick, and they're saying it was a first down. The chains will be moved.
Perfect spiral, perfect blue, and great catch by the young man Paxton. He hasn't done much lately as a young sophomore. 3 receptions, 28 yards, and 1 touchdown, but please believe he'll add on to those stats today.
Paxton Vick having a solid drive so far. It's now 1st and goal for the Faith Christian Patriots. So they're going to continue to try and move this ball forward. Going, it's a handoff now to Wilson. Wilson drives up the middle for a short gain. This offense has had quite the production in this first drive. They're definitely a fan of, the 3-4 yard rule, definitely wanting to just gain small chips at a time as long as it gets you to the end goal, or in this case, the end zone.
And you want to take moments like that, just able to run the clock down, get you some good yards.
Here we go, and it's handed off. Did he cross the plane? The referees are...
Just a little shy short.
Referee's not signaling there for the touchdown, so this will be 3rd and goal for Faith Christian.
And the guy that run the ball, Aiden Tundle, he is a running back and fullback, so kind of a fullback dive there.
And that time he gets in, and it's a touchdown for Faith Christian.
Oh, Vincent Wilson able to get – oh, sorry, wrong one. I believe that was –
You can see him kind of get in the pile there. I believe that was Blade Hinton.
And that's the dangerous part for him, and he's a tall guy as well, so he's just easily jumping into that pile and just letting his guys follow him in for the end zone there.
Seemed like a draw play there. Blade Hinton, you can see, rolled to the left and just jumped into the pile. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion now.
Give it to you, big fella.
And it's going to be Hinton. He rolls right, tosses it in the air, and that one's caught for the 2-point conversion. A complete pass there from Blade Hinton.
Perfect right in his hand basket. Just perfect throw there on this replay here. Just able to catch this guy on the run. Perfect over his shoulder pass.
Excellent catch from Aiden Tyndall there. And now Faith Christian goes up 8-0 to start this one. Energetic first quarter there. We're going to go to break. We will be right back after. Welcome back to the Black Bear Brawl here in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We just saw that Faith Christian touchdown, and they're set to kick off here to East Central. And this one's going to land in the hands of Nathan Marsh, who's brought down with a short return. And now East Central is going to get their second chance at an offensive drive. We saw their first one earlier. Not a lot of production there. A lot of lost yards, and hopefully they're going to try and make it up here.
And they need a little help from the offensive line because he had no holes to run through. And the passing play is just a tad bit off, so maybe the quarterback can get adjusted here and there so he can get his guys on point.
Yes, and like you said, absolutely full of holes. That defense from Faith Christian was able to just get through every gap to get to the quarterback, get to the running back, and now East Central is going to have to try and recuperate here. It's first down on this drive. And this one's going to be handed off there to Levi Jett, who's brought down.
Dylan Briggs, young guy, sophomore there, defensive tackle. Just 2 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. Made that 2 for him of the career.
And Levi Jett there, another great player for this East Central team. He's been carrying the ball today, but not much success. Maybe on this play here, it's second down. Here we go, the ball snap. They're going to hand it off over to Chris Fitz, who gets a decent run there for a gain before he's tackled out of bounds.
And that's something you need to use there, just a little trickery play. They think they're going to the running back. Nope, just to the wide out, gain a few yards, make it a little stable for you to get that possible first down.
A nice misdirection there. Perhaps that might be the key to this one, is maybe just give Faith Christian nothing to work with. Just kind of psych him out every chance you get. So that works out for East Central.
Also gives O-line a little break there. They don't have to worry about taking their guys up front. They just able to get to the side there.
Here we go now. East Central lined up. Barrett Weems standing back. He looks to pass. That one goes up the middle, somehow through the lob. It is caught.
And that was a great go up with the top by the young guy there.
A lot of commotion going down there from the Faith Christian bench. We can look at the replay here. That ball appeared.
Oh. It does look like it was dropped a little bit, but I don't think the refs caught it there.
They're calling it a first down. We can look at this again. It appeared to be caught. Let's take one more look at it. Oh, it looks like he dropped it there at the end. And looked like a possible incomplete pass, but the referee's calling it a first down. Now a sideline warning issued to Faith Christian's bench.
can't blame coaches on calls like that, especially if you're able to see that they didn't catch the ball. But there's no challenges in high school.
A controversial call there, but they're going to keep this one going now. It's East Central lined up. They're going to hand it off. He's going to get snubbed up the middle.
Kendall with the stop in the backfield. It'll be
And that was
second
Levi
down.
Jett again, who was stuffed on the short gain.
Correction, Ward with the stop.
Shout out to young tackle there, Andrew Ryan on Faith Christian, adding to his stats of 22 tackles there, but he only had 21 until that time. And he has 1 tackle for loss, and I guess we can count that his second one.
Second down now as East Central tries to make up for that blunderous play now. It's going to be Jett again, who tries to power through. He gets a short gain there. Still far from the down marker.
Finally, some positive yards for Levi Jett as he has 69 carries, 340 yards, averages 5.3, and 3 touchdowns. Hopefully, he's going to add a lot more to his stats if this offensive line can give him the holes that he needs.
Slowly gaining yards, chipping away at it, and definitely more successful than their last drive. Can they get a first down, though? We'll see if it happens as East Central lines up, getting ready here. He's going to step back to pass, throws that one in the air, and it appears to be intercepted. Jump ball situation here, and they're calling it a first down.
For the corner there, you want to try to snatch that ball out of the wide receiver's hands. I don't think he was hungry enough for it. Is number 8 there.
Is Micah Smith as the receiver for East Central. They're saying he was down. And the Faith Christian bench once again being upset by that call.
I don't know. That's a tough call to play there. Those one of those up and downs player. You just gotta go with your gut. See who has the ball at the end of the play.
East Central now. Hands it off. No play action. He's going to throw it to his right. And a big tackle there. Pass was to Judah Bush, who got laid out at the 20.
And that was great on the quarterback, too. Honestly, he had some pressure coming in on him at the last minute. He was okay with taking the hit, possibly. And shout out to the defense, concentrating on that one guy that slipped out, and they're able to stop him short before he could do any more damage.
Second down now for East Central, trying to recuperate as they make their way closer to the end zone. As quarter one winds down here now. East Central. He's going to step back. That's Barrett Weems. Barrett Weems in trouble now as he tries to go up the middle to make up for lost yardage, and it might be a no-gain situation there. So it's now third down, and a player is now down on the field.
I'm going to take a minute to say smart quarterback play there, just able to neutralize the loss of yards.
Correct me if I'm mistaken, Brendan, but that appears to be Cooper Aldrich that's down on the field there.
That's he's a good back on his feet. Thankfully, he's back because he is a big help when it comes to his team.
Knocked out of him there.
Happens a lot. You just got to be able to get the wind back in you, take a little break on the sideline, and get prepped up and ready to go.
Here we go, 3rd and 10 for East Central. It's Weems who steps back. He's trying to find his right side open. They're calling that incomplete. It was intended to Micah Smith. Looked like he might have got it, but he appeared out of bounds there at the end.
And great concentration, honestly, whether he caught the ball or not.
Had control of it for sure.
I want to say he got just a little toe tap, but hey, ref knows best.
It would appear so. It might have stepped out of bounds there on the reception. Fourth down now. Weems likely going to try and pass here. He's going to step back. He's going to roll up the middle, and that pass is complete to Micah Smith, who gets in the end zone for an East Central touchdown.
They take his touchdown, but he gets it right back. Great catching, great juke moves, just able to get into that end zone.
And a great play there, a nice middle route as he gets to run to the right and finds that corner for the touchdown. And now East Central answering to Faith Christian. What a play there as we look to close out the first quarter here.
Where if they're going to run it for the 2-point or passing. Passing has been very helpful on this drive.
Yes, it has, and it appears that that might be what's happening here. Barrett Weems standing tall down, and he's going to run to the right and throws it, and it's deflected. That'll be incomplete, and that 2-point conversion is no good.
Just great read by the defense there.
And that'll be the first quarter score. Faith Christian 6, East Central, or Faith Christian 8, East Central 6. We'll come back to the second quarter after this break. Welcome back to the Black Bear Brawl here on the 8-Man Extremes official YouTube channel. What a great first quarter we had. Faith Christian, of course, starting things off with 8 points, and now East Central took them 2 drives, but they eventually found the end zone. Close game here as we begin the second quarter. Faith Christian going to be in possession of the balls. East Central kicks. It looks like Barrett Weems now is going to send this one to Vincent Wilson in the back. Instead, it'll land over to the right side of the field as he tries to carry it. He's brought down for little to no gain there.
And it doesn't look like his guy helped him out there as he kind of ran into him and helped him get tackled.
Looked like that was Jasper Rice there on the return. It's time for our first offensive drive of the second quarter. Faith Christian now looking to get things started. It's going to be Blade Hinton lined up in the quarterback position.
This defense is going to need to improve in order to stop them. They beat them both in the running
Timeout.
and pass game.
Central, they're first.
East Central calling a timeout there before things can get officially started.
I don't think he was ready for that spread, for them to just come out and spread. Maybe getting the defense adjusted just in case they come back out in it.
Yeah, definitely saw something there he didn't like. And what a great first drive this Faith Christian team had. Moving yards every, they were getting first downs left and right. They were moving 3-4 yards at a time. Great runs, great passes, eventually found the end zone. Fundamentals, but definitely good.
And that's great when you have not only a great quarterback, but his weapons as well. And everybody's just on cue. Everybody's on key. Like, they're a well-coached team, as you can tell. They're very disciplined on what they need to do and how to execute these plays.
There we go. Tackle made there. That was Ramsey Ward who tried to get things going. Short gain there for Faith Christian.
And he usually does more on the defensive side than he does offense. But for offense, he has 1 carry, 4 yards, and the average is only 4 yards because he only has 4 yards.
Yes, not a bad play at all there. Blade Hinton now standing back for Faith Christian.
He's been throwing
Had a
rockets.
man in motion. He steps back. He's going to throw up the middle, and that one is missed. Pass intended for Ramsey Ward, the halfback, and it's going to go nowhere.
Just threw a little behind him there. Probably just miscommunication or thought his guy was going to be right where he needed him.
Go now. Faith Christian discussing things. Blade Hinton in the huddle here. They get set to take on this next down. Got about 5 yards to go. Faith Christian. Blade Hinton might be looking to pass here. Looked like there was an early jump from the defense. And this is going to be a scramble, a first down for Faith Christian. And he runs out of bounds there, Blade Hinton. Lots of discipline there on the offense to not jump. Of course, that would have been encroachment.
It's just well coached right here. I saw it on the sidelines. The offensive line coach was very with his guys and able to talk to him. But you also got to watch out for young Blade Hinton. He knows how to run that ball, and if you don't have a little QB spy, he's going to give you some problems on scrambles.
Hinton now hands it off, and he's going to get swallowed up in the back there. It was Vincent Wilson for the loss of yards after the first down there.
Great read and way to beat his guy out. That's how you win in the trenches there. Was able to get a tackle for loss, add to his stats.
Here we go now. It's going to be Hinton. Hinton throws there to a wide open Paxton Vick, and he drops it. It was intended to be a short pass and stride, and that one's incomplete for Faith Christian.
Something like that. For the wide out, he has to take his time, get the ball caught first in his hands, and then start jolting off. I think he was thinking about running before he could catch the ball. A lot of mistakes this drive for Faith Christian, which is unlikely from them from the last drive.
If there's anything we know as football spectators, it's that those small mistakes add up quick, and Faith Christian now looking to maybe recuperate from that small blunder now. It's Hinton in the back. He's going to get the ball. He runs to his right, avoids a sack, and he's going to take off, aiming for the first down. He's not going to get it, and he ends up 5 yards short at the 40.
I like how young Hinton is just using his he has a great IQ right there, as he knows, hey, it's a loss down right here, just running out, try to get as much yards as you can to get that first down if possible. It's kind of manageable here if they want to try it.
Faith Christian now gaining big yards as they try to keep the momentum going. Got receivers lined up here.
Can't make a mistake here. This
Low snap, and Hinton throws it up the middle, and it is incomplete. That pass was intended for Colin Jones. It looked like a snap miscommunication there from the center.
was a great recovery by the quarterback, though, and that is unlike Aiden as well, as he has 20 receptions, 360 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Usually he's able to catch that ball easily and gain a few yards. He would have got first down there.
Faith Christian tried to get the momentum going there, just could not continue it. And after the turnover on downs, it's going to be East Central's ball. East Central, and there we have a jump there from the defense. That looks to be encroachment possibly.
On the defense, that's a 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
5-yard penalty there. It'll be first down for East Central still as they shift things over.
So you got to be disciplined. That's the line there. Can't move to the ball snap.
And here we go. He hands it off and is immediately eaten alive there in the back. That was Barrett Weems sacked there by the defense.
And he just had a whole gap. No one even touched him. He's just free man, able to get to the quarterback. Easy sack there.
And the O-line just opens up, and you can see him just get destroyed there with nowhere to go, no chance of life.
What a great defensive call there on the blitz.
Faith Christian defense playing good thus far, aside from the penalty. Here we go. It's second down now for East Central. Weems lined up. He's going to hand the ball off, and he's going to run left, and he gets tackled. That'll be Levi Jett once again.
And it seems like this defense is just on this offense. They're not giving any type of breathing room whatsoever. They are on that ball as soon as it's seen that's handed off.
East Central now a good way down from the initial line of scrimmage on this drive. Maybe hoping to make up for some lost yards. A long ways to go for the first down.
Don't be surprised if you see a pass play here. It's been working for them offensively. This running game has been running short there.
Here we go. Weems now rolls to his left. He's looking for a man, and he's going to take off instead, and he gets knocked out of bounds there for the short gain.
It did look like he might have had the guy, but I don't think he was in a perfect spot to throw it. So it's just smart for him to just keep the ball and scramble, get the few yards he need.
Good discipline there. Couldn't find any receivers open, and he was able to make what he could with a bad situation to get him closer to that initial line of scrimmage.
Sometimes it's just best to run it if you have nothing, and don't try to be a hero and try to throw that ball up in the air for a possible interception.
Here we go. The punt now. This one's going to go out of bounds. Looked like it was intended originally for Vincent Wilson as the bounce takes it to the outside.
It's probably better to just kick it out of bounds. Vincent Wilson's a dangerous weapon for this team, and he's able to get a few yards, if not a touchdown, if he's able to get free.
6:33 left here in the second quarter, of course. Faith Christian still with a lead. East Central unable to capitalize on their recent momentum. And let's give a shout out to the 90 people watching this on our official YouTube channel. Thank you guys for tuning in and supporting as we get set for this next Faith Christian offensive drive here. Hinton now standing back. Ball snapped. He's going to step back, looks for a man. He's going to throw it up the middle, and that pass is complete, and it was caught by Paxton Vick for the first down.
And the quarterback's just confident there, trusting his wide receivers to get the ball. He's just throwing it with confidence. Perfect aim to him. Lets wide receiver be the only guy able to get up there and go get it.
And you could see Chris Fitz there for East Central on his knees after. You can tell he was kind of disappointed with himself for letting that one go. Faith Christian moves the chains and tries to keep this one rolling.
For defense, you just got to have a mind of a goldfish. You just got to be able to move forward and don't forget the last play. Do better.
Here we go now. It's Hinton. He's going to drop back, throws a deep pass, and this one's going to sail over the head of Paxton Vick for the incompletion.
And Paxton looked like he slowed up there. I mean, he was getting grabbed on, but if you got the guy beat, it's just better to just go ahead and keep running the ball until you catch that ball and get a first down.
Got a little bit locked up in that coverage there at the end. There's a flag on the field.
Possible holding on the offensive line there.
It looks like Faith Christian's backing up, so that appears to be the case.
I think ref forgot to turn his mic on.
Here we go now. Faith Christian lined up again. Hinton fakes the handoff. He's going to roll to his right, almost gets sacked, trying to make the best with what he can and gets a short gain to avoid a further loss of yards.
And he's just not scared to just get out there, and he thought he had a guy open, but he couldn't get out there because there's a lot of pressure he was dealing with there.
Second down now for Faith Christian. I want to compliment Blade Hinton there for his ability to try and turn nothing into something. That's the type of adversity that coaches absolutely love.
Now it looks like the young brother gets a little shot because older brother has to get off the field for losing the helmet.
The younger brother, that of course being Case Hinton.
See what the future could hold for this young man.
He's going to pitch it over to his halfback, and he's going to run to the left now. That's Jordan Rue with a big game. It looked like he stepped out of bounds there.
And Jordan Rue.
And they're going to rule it a first down.
Jordan Rue, young freshman, 3 carries, 40 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's able to add to his stats, and you can see why they trust him. He just moves those legs, even in the pile. Guys trying to strip him. No way, Jose. I'm going to keep this ball in my hand and get that first down like my team needs.
It appears that my vision was wrong there. I think he did stay in bounds, according to that replay we just saw. It's now first down for Faith Christian as they get Jordan Rue back on the field. Timeout called by Faith Christian.
Timeout.
Of course, we want to remind you of some of our other games that are coming up later. We have Evangel at APA. That game is going to be at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central. And we have another big one is the Tennessee Heat versus ASP. That one's going to be at 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 Central, in addition to the other ones we mentioned earlier, that being Augusta versus Tennessee. That one comes on after this at 12 o'clock Central, 1 Eastern. And then Cincinnati versus Cabarrus. That one going to be at 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 Central. Loaded slate of games we have for you today here at the Black Bear Brawl in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Legion Field at Hammond Stadium. What a beautiful environment we've had for this game and for the several to follow. Here we go now, Faith Christian. Lined up, it's going to be Hinton that drops back, and he's going to throw up the middle through double coverage, and that one's going to be incomplete. The pass intended for Aiden Tyndall.
That's very dangerous on the quarterback there to throw in double coverage, but hey, he looks like he has the confidence to get into his guy. He almost did, but just a little tad bit too over the fingers.
That'll be second down now for the Patriots of Faith Christian. Blade Hinton perhaps handing it off, which he does. That's Jordan Rue who's going to run to the right. He's going to get a solid gain here before he's knocked out of bounds. Looked to be about 5 yards on the play.
Great run by this young man, able to get a few yards to make it manageable to get a first down.
It seems they marked him in bounds there. The clock's still running. Just over 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Faith Christian doing a good job so far. Moving the chains in this one, of course. Last drive we saw the turnover on downs. Obviously they don't want that here as halftime approaches. Hinton now standing back. Worth noting, Faith Christian does get the ball after halftime. This one is pitched over to Vincent Wilson. Wilson now runs to the left. The ball is fumbled, still free, and it's picked up by East Central.
Just wave around that ball just a tad bit much there. Watch on this replay. He's just not carrying it well enough, and that guy's able to pickle punch it a little bit.
It was Barrett Weems there that forced the fumble and came away with it. Barrett Weems, the guy who's been playing quarterback for East Central today, comes away with a big defensive turnover. And now East Christian has the ball. East Central, my bad.
And that's what a defensive coach likes to see. Not only do you punch out the ball, you go get your own ball. Right there.
East Central now with 2 timeouts left. 2 as well for Faith Christian as East Central gets this offensive drive going. It's going to be Weems now lined up. And a flag is thrown there.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5 yards, remains first.
A false start against East Central. Somebody jumped a little too fast, and you can see now the offense going to back up. It looked like he was originally going to hand that to Dax Vaughn. And maybe a change of strategy is in order as Faith Christian saw that one.
Timeout. East Central, their second.
Timeout called by East Central. They now have 1 remaining of this half. Both teams look over their strategies here. And we're going to go to break. We will be back after this. Stay tuned. Welcome back here in the Black Bear Brawl in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We're back now for this first down for East Central Home Schools. They take things back. It's Weems who hands it off over to Levi Jett. Gets stuffed there, doesn't go anywhere. It'll be second down now for East Central. What a great defensive game we've had so far with about 2:03 left to go in this one. The clock's still ticking.
Yeah, you have Faith Christian here. They're just able to get to the guys that have the ball and tackle them for a short yards gain. And East Central, they've been picking up their fight now, and that last turnover helps a bunch too, and maybe moves the momentum just a tad bit, but that penalty kind of hurt there.
East Central maybe hoping to have a lead here because Faith Christian gets the ball after halftime. They can definitely have a chance to double up there. That pass is complete, and he goes down on his knees. I believe that was Dax Vaughn with the reception there. Yes, it was. They get past the initial line of scrimmage, and East Central tries to move things forward for second down.
Dax Vaughn is one of those receivers that hasn't got a lot of play, but he's a young, very, very young guy. One of the young 8th graders here with 2 receptions, 13 yards, and not a touchdown quite yet, but if he keeps working the way he just did right there and help his quarterback out, he'll get something. He'll get his trust from his quarterback to get the ball.
Less than a minute to go of the half. East Central lined up. It's Barrett Weems. He's going to get the ball and run right. He's going to find his man there. No, he doesn't. It was Micah Smith. He threw it to the tight end. Was unable to get the pass there. That's incomplete.
And he's beating himself up for missing that pass, but like I said, even on defense, it goes with the quarterback as well. Have a goldfish mindset, move on to the next play, just learn how to do better and get that pass where you want it.
Clock stopped now following the incompletion. It looks like they're going to get lined up again. Barrett Weems once more getting set. They got some receivers. Or no, excuse me. It looks like they're going to punt here. It's going to be Weems punting. This one's going to bounce near Nick Nelson. Nelson now running right, makes him and miss. He gets brought down near the 40. Nice shedding of the tackle there, showing the endurance that he can withstand. And now we have 37 seconds left of the half. And Faith Christian's going to have the football. With 2 timeouts remaining, I should add.
And that'll help them there so they can kind of mix up their play calls here. They're probably going to start out with the passing plays because the quarterback there, he's very confident. He knows what he's doing. He trusts his guys.
We've seen their biggest strength is the small yardage situations, but even with 2 timeouts, you got to wonder if that's going to work here with 37 seconds remaining. Might see a little more big plays here. Hinton, who hands it off, it's going to be Aiden Tyndall that gets to about the 45, and he's brought down.
Now, Christian, they're second.
Faith Christian using one of their 2 remaining timeouts there. That's going to have them with 1 more to go for this half. 30 seconds to go. That further elaborates on what I was saying just a minute ago. You wonder if maybe they're hoping they can just get a breakthrough and take off to the end zone.
Could have been possible there. If one guy would have missed the tackle, there's a possible chance he got more yardage. If not a touchdown, maybe some decent yardage to get him close to the end zone. Or red zone, apologies.
Coach Jones there talking with his team. On the right side of your screen, on the left there, you see Daniel Smith. 2 great coaches leading these teams to success here in the Black Bear Brawl in Gatlinburg, and now Faith Christian coming back to the line of scrimmage, looking to get things here.
And this is a very good showing of great coaching here. Both teams have been very disciplined for a cute little mishaps here and there, but that's kind of part of the game. You live and you learn.
And this one's handed off. It's going to be Vincent Wilson who's got to run. He's going to run right and finds a little bit of space, shakes off the tackle, and then gets brought down at the 35 for a huge first down, and Faith Christian moves the chains.
And I think that's the run they were looking for on the first play there, but gotta give it up for Wilson, able to fight off and get those yards. He's fighting every man possible on this replay.
19 seconds left of the
Timeout.
half.
3rd and final timeout of the half.
They're going to call their final timeout as expected. They're at the 35-yard line. Again, 19 seconds to go, and they're trying to get that good chunk of yards earned with no timeouts. Shout out to the crew here today broadcasting this game, and shout out to Andrew from Rocky Top Sports.
Out to our lovely producer Theodore. Head out to James for the director. Spencer with second cam. Blake on the field. And of course, us two here calling the games here. We work hard every day to give you guys the games that you love to watch here.
Thank you for that, Brendan. Is now Faith Christian lined up. It's Hinton. He's going to run to the left, and whoa, grabbing the jersey there, and Hinton survives. Gets the run and is brought down at about the 29.
I got to call, hurry up and try to get that ball spike.
They're going to try and hurry up. Perhaps it won't be in time. Yes, it will, and they got about 2 seconds there on the clock. It looks like they might give them 1 second.
The refs didn't help them there. They were in the way there, and you guys can't hear it, but these parents are complaining about the refs being in the way on that play as they were trying to spike it. And as a ref, you kind of have to know that they're trying to spike it, stop the clock, and possibly get a touchdown.
Looks like they're going to have enough time for one more play here before the half. Hendon steps back. His receivers lined up. They're definitely maybe going to try a vertical shot here on fours. Hinton steps back. Dodges it. No, he doesn't. And the ball's fumbled from the sack. The referee blew the play dead. But the East Central defense came up with a big play there.
It's just everybody's breaching in. The trench was lost on that one. It's hard to call on that one, to be honest. If I could get another well, possibly not, but I would say he's down by the looks of it.
And it looks like with that, that'll be the end of our first half. Faith Christian with a score of 8, leading by 2 against East Central with 6. We will see you guys after the break. We're going to have the halftime show coming up here. It's the East Central cheerleading team will provide us with the halftime show for this one. As we close out the second quarter here. Welcome back to the Smoky Mountains here in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. What a great game we've had so far here in the Black Bear Classic of 8-Man Extreme Football, with Faith Christian leading 8 to Eastern Central 6. We've had a great game so far, and we look to get things resumed here in the third quarter of play, and Faith Christian will start things off with the football.
Guaranteed during halftime, coaches were talking about lessening the penalties and just getting this offense going, because both sides have great offensive going through and everything, but the defense has just been a lot stronger, and those both offensive lines have been kind of struggling in the past few drives here.
We've seen some great offensive production coming from Faith Christian. Of course, they've come up shy on multiple occasions, but they've been good at getting the small yards. Small ball's been the story of the game so far. Faith Christian, they can get 3 yards at a time, 4 yards at a time, and every now and then they could find the gap and get the big run for the first down, but they've only found that end zone one time, and it's going to be up to the Patriots of Faith Christian to figure out how they're going to overcome this defensive play by Eastern Central. On the Eastern Central side of things, the offensive production has been very slow. They've gotten the ball downfield a few times, but have only found that end zone once as well, and even failing the 2-point conversion. So this 2-point difference here, of course, being the main talking point as we get started here for the third quarter of play. Of course, the key players for Faith Christian to start things off in that first half, Blade Hinton, no doubt he was big on the passing situations, but when he saw the blitz coming, he was able to get through and get some solid rushing yards. And of course, we can't forget Aiden Tyndall, who was another big player on that offense. We saw some big punt returns from Jordan Rue and Vincent Wilson, and this team overall just has a very well-rounded offense. And we look over to the East Central side, a lot of the work being done by Barrett Weems and Levi Jett. Weems, of course, playing quarterback and recorded an interception at one point in the game. Levi Jett being a very solid running back who's been able to get some good yards throughout the game. Both of these teams really good offenses. It's been a very strong defensive battle as well, and we've had a good matchup in this game so far. In terms of quality of game, this has absolutely set the bar for today.
And this is what we want to see for not only for these teams, but the viewers as well. Just great games to watch. Guys, please stay in tune for the rest of these games. As you see, if this is the standard for the starting one, please believe they're going to be great for the whole rest of the night or day.
If you're a fan of classic gridiron football, then you will, of course, love the rest of these games as well as the remainder of this one. This is a very old-school style game. Lots of fundamentals at work. We're starting to see that now as Faith Christian gets set to return. It'll be Vincent Wilson in the back. To his left, you have Jordan Rue. To the far side over there, it's Isaac Subber. Kicking off for East Central is Barrett Weems. Ball spotted at the 40 there, and the kickoff, it's like an onside kick there. Bounced across the floor. That one was picked up by Aiden Tyndall.
I'm going to say great call by the coach on the onside kick. Might want to just kick it just a little tiny bit less. Yep, he sounded like he got a little bit too much on there.
Faith Christian, of course, with very good starting positional yards there off the onside kick. Looks like they're going to start things at the 47. And here we go as offensive play starts here. It's Hinton. Ball snapped. He hands it off. And it's Aiden Tyndall who gets tackled there. Looked to be no gain.
Nick Nelson able to get past that offensive lineman. 116 tackles, 20 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 1 interception. That guy is just a beast. There's more stats, 3 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries. Star player on this defense.
What a good defense they've been so far in this one. Faith Christian, however, just as good on the offensive side. They're lined up. It's Hinton standing back. He's going to hand that one off to Vincent Wilson, who's going to find space on the left. And there we go. Yes, it's Wilson who finds a clean run home, and it's a touchdown for Faith Christian.
It was just him against the turf. He had nothing but green grass in front of him. Everybody did their jobs blocking off, and he just got out there and able to get the touchdown easily with the quick speed.
Found a wide open gap to the left. He used that great speed that he's been known for, and he took off, put on the jets, and he found his way to the end zone for 6. And now Faith Christian has a chance to double up on their score with a 2-point conversion here. Lined up for the 2-point conversion. We have Hinton now. He's going to hand that one off, and the 2-point conversion is good.
Speaking of old school play, fullback dive, able to just get the easy 2 and walk off that field proudly.
That was Aiden Tyndall there credited with the 2-point conversion. He's had a couple of good fullback plays today. We can add that one to the list now, and Faith Christian has a 10-point lead over Eastern Central. Exciting first drive there, coming back into the half. Of course, East Central has a lot to answer to, not only making up for the missed 2-point conversion, but also making up for the deficit as well.
They've done a great job at in the going into that first half. They were able to get their offense going, and hopefully this drive they'll be able to pick it up and possibly get a touchdown.
Here we go as Faith Christian set to kick the ball off here. We're going to send this one to the back for East Central. Looks like it's Nick Nelson on the left there. And that ball is going to be scooped up. He's going to try and run to his right and find space. And there we go. It's Chris Fritz. Chris Fritz now finding open space to the end zone. Past the 10. Into the end zone. Touchdown.
And that is how you answer from the touchdown that was given up earlier by defense. Just get that kickoff. Perfect blocking on the special teams and able to get a run in.
And a big play there on the kick return. That's a touchdown from Chris Fritz. And now East Central with a chance to try and catch up here. No flags on that play. Clean as a whistle. And East Central with an excellent start. And both teams start the half with 6.
Everybody both firing from both cylinders. Rarely special teams does something, but when they do, it is lovely to see.
That's like conduct. Number 9, red team. That penalty, 15 yards, will be assessed on the kickoff.
It looks like an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty there on Faith Christian. Number 15, that was Aiden Tyndall. They said on the kickoff, that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. So we'll see that after this 2-point conversion attempt here from East Central.
You got to learn how to control your emotions on that.
And here we go. Weems rolls to the right, fires through the center. There's a flag on the play.
During the play, number 28 on the offense, 10 yards, retry.
Looks like it's going to be a retry. Penalty called there on Jake Turner for East Central. It's a holding call there from the O-line.
And you hate that as much momentum as you're gaining now with that touchdown, and now you have the penalty that's going to hurt in the long run. But you need this 2-point conversion here to make it a 2-point game.
And despite the holding call, which could have very well been the reason, it did look like he crossed the plane there at the end, so But they're going to give it a retry here following the penalty. Barrett Weems lined up. He's got Levi Jett behind him. Receivers lined up. He's going to step back. He's looking for an open man in double coverage. Does not catch it. That one is incomplete, and the two-point conversion is no good.
Tough to throw in double coverage, but he did the right thing. Throw it high so your guy can only fight for it. He was just not able to bring it down right there.
And what a great drive there to start off the half. We're going to see you guys after the break. Stay tuned for the Black Bear Brawl here in Gatlinburg. Welcome back here for the Black Bear Brawl. We get set for the kickoff. Want to remind everyone there is a 15-yard penalty being enforced after the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Aiden Tyndall during the touchdown of the last drive. This one's going to be kicked off, and it's going to bounce. And here we go now. He's going to try and find wide open room. I think that's Vincent Wilson now on the right side, losing steam, slowing down, and he will cross the plane. Touchdown, Faith Christian.
And that's just a lot of missed tackles on the special teams there. No one's able to touch them. That's bad right there. Just nothing but green grass, and he's right to slow up because wasn't nobody there but him in the end zone.
Anything you do, I can do better than you. Most likely what's going through his mind right now. What a great play there from Vincent Wilson. We've seen back-to-back kick returns for touchdowns in this one from both teams there. We had that one from East Central just on the last drive. And my goodness, things are starting to ramp up as far as scores go here. More scoring in this half so far than the entire first half. And from that shove, he's in the end zone. That two-point conversion is good. Faith Christian now with a 24-12 lead to extend their prowess.
Little version of the tush push there from the
Faith Christian.
just keep the ball and just push them in.
Seeing a lot of good things offensively from both of these squads, but shout out to the special teams units there for putting a respected touchdown on each side. We're seeing a lot of production from Faith Christian there. They played some good defense there, trying to guard against the two-point conversion on the last drive against East Central. Setting up now for another kickoff. This time it'll be Faith Christian kicking things in the direction of East Central. Perhaps maybe a third return is in order here for our two Patriots squads.
You never know at this rate. Both guys are running off the hinges. Obviously, coaches definitely talked his guys up to get them prepped up for this game, and now we have a great game on our hands as these special teams are actually running the game now.
Special teams definitely putting both squads on their backs here, and this is going to be Alston Joyner kicking things here for Faith Christian.
Possibly onside kick, just how he's lined up.
Might go to the corner there, and it is. You're right on that one, Brendan. And
a little fumble.
A little scramble here. Trying to see who came up with the football.
I think ref's just going to give it to East Central.
That would appear to be the case here. We see who got it on the replay. Looks like it's buried there in the pile.
I think East Central got lucky. A lot of the guys just able to hop on that ball and able to keep it.
And East Central's going to have the football now as planned from them after the little rugby scrum there in the middle. Now this is going to be Weems lined up, his receivers looking to take off. Here we go. Instead, it's a handoff there for no gain.
Defensive line winning in the trenches there. O-line wasn't ready.
And you could kind of see the vision. It looked like there was a gap open there on the left side, but the Faith Christian defense saw that one coming.
And that's where they've been getting a lot of penetration on that left side, just beating their guys off the ball and able to get off their blocks and get the guy.
Weems now hands it off. They got a runner who breaks free. It's Nick Nelson who's being hunted down, and he gets tackled right about the 26. My goodness, what a play.
And that's a good, smart play there. You see them packing over the left side, just go to the right, and you see that wide hole, and he's able to get off all those tackles, get nothing but good yardage, but a nice saving tackle there by the line. And that's called keep your feet moving no matter what, man. That's what coaches mainly coach up their running backs. Keep your feet moving, you're going to get those yards, guaranteed.
Nick Nelson there with that spin move breaking free. Definitely the big reason he got a lot of that yardage now. And the ball is snapped on the ground, loose ball, and I think Faith Christian came up with it. Yes, they did. And that's going to be a turnover. Faith Christian with the fumble recovery.
And as you see on this replay, the running back is trying to pick it up and go, but you just got to jump on that ball and go down. There's no reason for you to try to pick up that ball, try to run for it. Just get the ball, be safe, and lose the yardage.
A big blunder there from East Central with a bad snap there to give Faith Christian control once more. That was the last thing this team needed in this situation. Now the Faith Christian offense going to take the field.
This East Central defense, though, they've been doing a great job keeping it contained, but we'll see what Mr. Vincent has to say about that.
Here we go. He hands it off now. He runs to his left. That's going to be Vincent Wilson again. Is he about to try and score again? Yes, he is. That's going to be a touchdown for Faith Christian.
As I called it, the young Vincent star player here, he just, every time he gets this number called, he's going to do what he needs to do to get that touchdown and more.
I spoke with Coach before the game. He was telling me Vincent Wilson is absolutely one of their key players to their success formula. And, man, he was not lying. Vincent Wilson has absolutely been showing out in this game. Another touchdown under his name, and this Faith Christian squad continues to dominate offensively. Huge breakout game for the young man.
I do wonder what his stats look like right now. So he's got 2 touchdowns and a lot of yards gained with a return as well.
Here we go, the 2-point conversion. They hand it off, and it is good. Aiden Tyndall with a 2-point conversion for Faith Christian.
And rarely do you see a fullback stretch, but, hey, the guy has some wheels on him, able to get out there, get a nice little touchdown there.
And another excellent drive there from the Faith Christian Patriots. East Central starting to fall behind some. You wonder if they can get some of that momentum and pick back up. We haven't seen an offensive touchdown from them since the beginning of the first half. So maybe they can try and power through and come back here, but it's starting to look like they're fading a little bit.
From here, it's just a mental game. Just get all the mistakes out of your head, clear your head out, and just start from scratch again and figure out what you need to do to get the score on the board.
And if you're a fan of old school football, we mentioned before, you would have loved the beginning. If you're a fan of high-powered scoring football, then you definitely are in for a treat now as Faith Christian is starting to take this one away. They get set to kick off here. East Central got their Returners in the back. The left there is Nick Nelson. I believe that's Judah Bush on the right. And here we go. That one bounces across the ground, and it will be picked up by East Central. And here we go. They're going to try and make something happen. It's brought down at about the 40. That was Judah Bush on the kick return.
And that's exactly what you need right there after that touchdown. Just give you guys some hope there. Get a few yards and make it easy for the offense to get a touchdown.
Great field position here for East Central. They're going to start with under half the field to go till the end zone. It's exactly the type of thing you want to see come from your special teams unit, though the ball on the ground did help with that.
Now it's all about security here and jump on the ball if it's missnapped and be very disciplined. These penalties have been hurting them more than anything, and the fumbles have been messing with them as well.
Starting to get things lined up here, subbing players in. That's Case Hinton coming in. Lined up at receiver there. They hand it off, and that'll be Levi Jett, who is stuffed. Goes nowhere.
And Charlie Mez, I'm not even going to try to say that last name. I'm not going to butcher anybody's name. Mez Samir is what I'm going to guess here. 18 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble. One of the nice captains there for the young defensive line and able to teach them how it gets done.
Faith Christian defense already starting to penetrate that O-line in ways they have through this entire game. You can see Barrett Weems now trying to do what he can with those open gaps. That pass is complete to Dax Vaughn into traffic. They're going to move the ball a little bit. Not quite the change, though. It'll be 3rd down now for East Central.
Again, Dax Vaughn, the young 8th grader, getting the reps here. Like I said, if you're just able to get the ball, the quarterback's going to trust you and give you some yards here.
See them discussing things. It looks like Andrew McGowan's going to go back to the bench. They're going to bring in Barrett Weems again here, who's talking things over with his squad. Here we go. Looks like they're going to try and take off here on the run. This one's handed off. Trying to shove guys out of the way and create some space on the right, and he stays in bounds. Are you kidding me? Nick Nelson with the touchdown for East Central.
And that is a grown man run. As you see, everybody's come past him. He really has nowhere to go. Everybody has him right there, but he just keeps those feet moving. That's the main thing for running backs. If you're watching this game, you young guys, keep those feet moving. I think he was a little slightly out of bounds, but it's hard to tell.
They're going to go ahead and credit that to him as he channels his inner Derrick Henry there to bring that one to the end zone. And it looks like East Central's not out of this one yet. They get huddled up, ready to go for the 2-point conversion here.
Like I said, they're just playing the goldfish mind game. Forget what happened last drive. Let's just focus on this drive and get a touchdown. Now let's get 2.
Weems now is going to roll right to pass, perhaps finding a gap up the middle, and that one is picked off in the end zone. That conversion is going to be no good, and a helmet popped off there in the secondary. As he stays on the ground after the contact. Looks like it might just be a cramp, judging by the therapist down there. We're going to go ahead and go to break real quick. Stay tuned. You're watching the Black Bear Brawl here in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We welcome you back here to Gatlinburg now as East Central kicks off over to Faith Christian. This one's going to be caught, and he's going to try and take it. I believe that was Wilson there on the return. I want to talk about East Central for a second. They have 3 missed 2-point conversions that we've seen over the course of this game, and that doesn't seem like a lot in the grand scheme of things, but that's 6 points right there. This could easily be a 1-score game had they gotten those, on top of the fact that they fumbled that football when they were coming in close to the red zone. I think we're starting to see a lot of these minor mistakes from East Central that are coming in to haunt them in this game later, no doubt. They get lined up here. It's Faith Christian. They hand that one off. Powering through. He finds room. Aiden Tyndall past the 30, the 20, the 10. He gets to the end zone. Touchdown, Faith Christian.
At old school fullback dive there. Just give the fullback room and let him work. He's just able to get off every man, grown man moves out here, and got some speed on him too for a fullback. Usually you don't see that.
Another thing you can see, he starts out slow, but then once he gets that, that breakaway, then he puts on the burners. He doesn't exhaust himself too quick, and that type of stuff right there is why he's so good with this team. He takes off and gets another score for Faith Christian to make it 38-18.
Never let the size fool you. Some of us are fast when we need to be, and he showed it right there.
20-point game now as Faith Christian lines up for the 2-point conversion. They've been really good with these. I believe they've only missed one today. Here we go now. It looks like he's going to pitch it to the left, and he found his way in. Was that Paxton Vick? I believe it was, and the 2-point conversion is good.
And Paxton has great runs here. Usually he's a great receiver with 3 receptions, 28 yards, and a touchdown. Along with the defensive side, he has 34 tackles, 7.5 tackle for loss, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery.
One of their star players here.
Paxton Vick, one of the star players of Faith Christian. Excellent play there to get them up by 2. It's now 40-18. Just when we saw a little bit of life coming out of East Central, Faith Christian slams the door back on their face. We got 5 minutes and 26 seconds left of this third quarter, and things are starting to look like Faith Christian once again will run away with it. Maybe East Central can creep back closer like they were earlier, but man, Faith Christian is really starting to get that offensive momentum. It seems like just every drive they're scoring now. with little to no effort. Once they're getting those breakaways, they are finding their way to the end zone.
And they're just applying pressure, especially on that running game. They were passing the ball a lot, but now that they see this running game is working, they're just using it to their full advantage. And this East Central team's going to have to figure out how to stop that. Maybe send some guys in on the box and blitz them a few times just to get this stopping right here.
You could see head coach Daniel Smith over there talking with his team, trying to get everybody hyped up. You can see this is definitely the time for a pep talk because they are down by a significant amount with not a lot of time left of this game. We're over the halfway point by a good margin. Makes you wonder what's probably going through the minds of East Central here in the Black Bear Brawl.
And they're a fairly young team with a few 7th and 8th graders, freshmen and sophomores. They're going to have to just learn how to, from this experience, because this Faith Christian team is very well experienced even from their young guys. They've gotten into the games and they've pulled out some clutch moments here. So East Central is definitely going to have to figure out how to get this game a little bit close before the end of the third.
It's definitely doable, but one of the big key things in that would be having the East Central defense step up, because even if that offense is scoring, Faith Christian's offense is more powerful, and East Central is going to need that defense to create those stops to close this gap, or else Faith Christian is just going to keep running that score up. Lining up to kick here, Alston Joyner. Looking like he might try the bounce again. Yes, he will. And that one is scooped up by Charlie Miesemer.
Looks like they're not taking a risk on receiving now, as they've gained a few touchdowns there from doing it. So the safe side is the onside kick, because you even have a possible chance of getting the ball if they miss the ball.
Lots of onside kicks, especially from both sides, but I think one thing that's worth noting is every time they do that and it's unsuccessful, they're giving the other team great field position that could have been prevented from a normal kick. I know that's kind of the preferred strategy in the world of 8-man football, but it makes you wonder what's going through East Central's mind every time they do that. Obviously here, not as serious, since it looks like they're right at the opposing 40.
The problem with East Central is they got Vincent over there for Faith Christian receiving, so they're going to try to keep away from him.
And here's a deep pass that's broken up. It looked like it was intended for Nick Nelson there. That one's incomplete.
And that's just on the quarterback. You have to get a little bit more muscle. Lead your receiver. Don't make him go back for it, because he has so much space there, as you see on this replay, and it gave the cornerback good enough time to catch up and deflect that ball.
And you can see a little bit of an underthrow there. It looked like he was a bit, having to come back for it, and almost landed right there in the secondary's hands. Getting ready to snap the ball here. It's going to be Weems who hands it off, and this is going to get tackled at about the 42.
Just a little short gainish there. Manageable for possible first down.
Huddle now going over at the East Central side of the ball. They're coming back, lined up here. Got their guys spread out. They got it back. They're going to hand it off. No, they're not. Yes, no, they're not. And it's going to be Weems now running away from pressure, still on his feet, looking for a pass. He's going to get it, and it's complete. And they gain a few yards on that play, making up for the lost time. There is a flag on the field.
And watch as he's able to invade. I don't know how he invaded, but he did a great job and able to get that pass off and get a few yards.
Got a
During the play, blindside block on the offense, number 92. It'll be third down.
So blindside block on the offense. We also have a player down for Faith Christian. Folks going to go check on him now. We're going to go ahead and go to break. You guys make sure to stay tuned. We're watching the Black Bear Brawl here on the 8-Man Extreme YouTube channel. Welcome back here to the Black Bear Brawl in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We saw previously there was a penalty there that's being enforced half a distance to the goal. It was a blindside block on the offense, I believe. So now East Central going to start way back on this one. It's third down. And he finds some room. Is he going to try and get all the way to the first down marker? Probably not. And Barrett Weems now still making space. Sheds the tackle, doesn't quite make it, was about a yard short from the first down. But a great play there nonetheless.
That's just great effort by young Williams, just able to find the space that he needs to get very close to the first down, but just not enough.
Got to respect those high steps there, avoiding the leg wrap up, and Barrett Weems able to escape that one and give his team some positive yardage in the process. So now they're really close to converting here. The question is, will they?
And Williams has been very great on the ground.
With 6 of 10,
Here we go.
462 yards, 8 touchdowns.
Ball was handed off to Judah Bush, and he gets wrapped up, and a flag is thrown after the play. I believe that might have been on Faith Christian for unsportsmanlike conduct. I could be wrong there. It was after the play.
The result of a play is a turnover on downs. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on Faith Christian, number 9, 15 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 for East Central. Number 9 is ejected.
And it looks like there's an ejection. Paxton Vick is now out of the game following the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And you could definitely see it looked like he made a motion there after the play, and then the flag was thrown.
He was definitely yakking at the offense there. I don't know why. You are way up 40-18. There's no reason to yak. Just be humble about yourself. You're winning the game. You're causing issues for your team. You're the defensive star guy. Why put yourself in that position to where you get tossed?
One of their standout players, no doubt. He will not be seeing the rest of this game as East Central now lines up. Or excuse me, Faith Christian lines up. The whistle blown, that play dead.
Timeout. East Central, their first of the half.
East Central going to call their first timeout of the half. Putting a pause to things here, and what a slowdown we've had since the beginning of this half. We're going to go to break. Be sure to stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. Welcome back to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. What an exciting matchup we've had here at the Black Bear Brawl. Still more to come after this, but this game has definitely set the tone for our future matchups. What a game it's been so far. Faith Christian with a 40-18 lead over East Central Homeschool. And you just missed if you're just tuning in, you missed a ejection there. That was Paxton, who was ejected for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and this handoff now goes to Jordan Rue, who gets brought down at the 49.
Paxton's still young, though. He's only a sophomore. that's just coaching up you have to do there, because you just can't babble when you're up like this. Be humble for once and just know where to put yourself in a position and know how it works. Now, if the guys are jabbing back at you, just let it go.
Where this team's going to perform now with the absence of Paxton Vick, as East Central is their defense squared up to try and stop the run here. Perhaps they're going to pitch it over to Jordan Rue. He runs right, runs into his own man, but also gets tackled, and he does get the first down. Faith Christian moves the chains.
And Jordan Rue, another back that you have to worry about if you're East Central's defense, because he can go off if he gets a nice green space.
Third quarter winding down now. Faith Christian doing a good job at keeping this clock moving, the score so high, of course. Keeping things on the ground would be the optimal strategy now. Looks like they're going to run it again. That time it was Hinton. He gets hit back.
Great hit by number 2 there on East Central, Nick Nelson, who is big on this defense. 116 tackles, 20 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, an interception.
Another guy that just does everything defensive-wise. 3 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries.
Blade Hinton here studying his options. He's got some backs lined up behind him. Looks like they're going to keep this one on the ground again. The ball snapped. He hands it off. He gets a solid few yards, and a flag is thrown after the play. That was Aiden Tyndall there with the short gain.
Fullback dive,
Their
just getting a few yards.
holding, 55 offense, 10 yards, still second.
Looks like that's a penalty on Charlie Mazemer. Nose guard there and player on the O-line. He got called for holding on the offense. Faith Christian going to step back some as they look to maybe recuperate from that. Coach is now talking to their players. That's going to be the end of the third quarter here as we get ramped up for the end of this game. We're going to go to break. We will see you guys in a minute. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. Welcome back here to this exciting matchup here at the Black Bear Brawl in Gatlinburg, Tennessee on the 8-Man Extreme official YouTube channel here at Legion Field. Fourth quarter now starting, and it's going to be Faith Christian who starts things off offensively. They're going to hand that one off to, I believe, Jordan Rue, who was tackled for a loss. Or at least a small gain, yeah.
Just able to get back to the lines. Maybe 1 or 2 yards gain there, just enough to manage it there.
Things going great so far. Faith Christian having an absolutely explosive offense since the conclusion of halftime. This whole second half has been nothing but special teams returns, fast running backs, good throwing. They have been on fire this entire half now, and he pitches this one back to Rue again. Rue runs to his right. He's got 3 guys on him, and he pushes them off while he gets shoved out of bounds for the first down.
Like I said earlier, if you give Rue just enough gaps to get in there, he can run the bar a few yards, and he's even got a little big back in him as he's just trucking those feet and able to move for some more yardage there.
Shout out to Cooper Aldrich, who was his blocker there, trying to shed some of those guys off of him for the extra yards. A lot of cooperation from this offense, and one of the primary reasons that they have such a commanding lead late in this game.
Shout out to Spencer running the batteries there. He looked like a running back himself out there running hard on that field.
They lined up and they hand it off to Vincent Wilson, who gets a short gain before he's tackled.
I'll even say he's one of the MVPs of this game. It's between him and I'll say Andrew Ryan, the quarterback. He's been doing a lot as well. Not Andrew, Blade Hinton. He's been tossing the ball left and right, able to get his guys open, and also run the ball as well.
While the players go to talk to their coaches, I want to remind everybody that after this game, we have Augusta taking on the Tennessee Tigers. That game, of course, at 12 Central, 1 Eastern. Following that game, we have 2 that are at 4 Eastern, 3 Central. Of course, that being Cincinnati at Cabarrus here at this field. And we have the Tennessee Heat taking on ASP at the small field. You could find that game on 8-Man Extreme Tennessee's YouTube channel. And then at 6 Central, 7 Eastern, we have Evangel versus APA taking place. Solid slate here as Faith Christian passes up the middle. Wide open. That pass is complete, and it's a touchdown for Jordan Rue. Faith Christian extends their lead once more late in this one.
Jordan Rue can do as much as receiving too, as that's his first receiving and touchdown.
Big touchdown for Hinton there as the quarterback. This whole offense really starting to pick up here.
Definitely thinking about giving co-MVPs to Hinton and the running back Vincent as well, as they've both been doing damage against this East Central defense.
It looks like they're going to try and attempt an extra point. The first of this game, they're sending the kicking unit out. This is going to be Alston Joyner, who's going to try and get the ball through the uprights.
Yes, out there they beat them a few points, get a little field goal in.
And that kick is good. They go 1 for 1 on the field goal kicks, and that extra point is good. Faith Christian now leads 47-18. What a commanding lead we have here late in this game. Welcome back from the break. Faith Christian now getting set to kick this one off. Looks like it's going to be Judah Bush in the far back. Instead, this one's going to bounce off the hand of Cody Albus there. And they're saying Faith Christian got a hold of it. It looks like the officials are saying out of bounds. The Faith Christian bench definitely thought they got a hold of it.
Ball.
player stayed in bounds. The ball went out. But per the rules, we know that the ball going out is what matters. I do want to clarify, that would be from our perspective, of course. The ball appeared to be out of bounds with the player in. So it looks like East Central is going to have control of this football. Here we go. Now they hand it off, try to get the run. It was Levi Jett, who doesn't go anywhere. He might have gotten a 1 or 2 yard gain there.
And just like I've always mentioned this before, the winning in the trenches is a make or break for these games. And Faith Christian, defensive line, man, they've been winning this trench war, and East Central is going to have to figure out how to get them shaped up or learn from this experience.
If there's anything the Faith Christian defense is good at, it's playing the line of scrimmage. They have contained East Central almost every single chance they get, and it looks like they appear to do that now. Dax Vaughn now playing quarterback, steps back. He finds an open space, but it ultimately does not pay off. He goes out of bounds, and a flag is thrown after the play.
At the end of the play, personal foul, tackle, 15 yards from the spot. No.
Looks like it'll be a horse collar tackle penalty on Vaughn as he flew out of bounds. It'll be a 15-yard penalty favoring East Central now as they get an automatic first down and move forward.
And you want to be careful when you're that defense. You don't want to string in all that caller right there. You just want to get his back jersey and pull him down if you can.
They move things to the 42-yard line now. It's Vaughn who throws it up the middle. The ball's caught in traffic. That was Micah Smith with the reception.
And what a dart. Just throwing straight to his guy, able where he can catch it on the run, the slant there, and get a few yards game and manageable for a first down.
Now East Central with their backup squad here starting to move the chains a little bit, maybe trying to get that momentum going late in the game. They move things up to the 35. They try to approach the red zone here.
And if you're these young guys getting reps, this is when you show coach, hey, I can make an impact too, depending on where you want to put me.
Another powerful handoff. He moves the chains again. He's still on his feet. My goodness. That was Judah Bush with the first down run.
The Bush is good for a first down.
Judah Bush is one of those older guys here that is now getting some carries here. 7 carries, 29 yards, averages 4 yards.
Just no tutties.
And, man, what an assist there by his offense. They were really helping him block and trying to propel him forward. But did you see how he was pulling on that defense? He was carrying them.
Yeah,
Like prime Eddie Lacy, what a play there. And I believe the PA guy called it the Bush push, if I heard that correctly.
Just perfect play there. And shout out to the whole team, offensive line there, helping them out there. That's how you do teamwork.
Here we go now. They're lined up. It's going to be a play action now. Vaughn rolls to his right, starts to get some running room before he's got 3 guys on him, and he gets tackled near the line of scrimmage.
And they got me with the trickery. I thought this guy had the ball. He had complete yards. The quarterback wasn't able to get him, hit him down as he was getting hurried up on there.
An excellent play action execution there, but couldn't get the run off. Looks like the defense was able to read it.
Very disciplined on that defense. A lot of guys usually fall for that fake, and not this Faith Christian team, as they're very honed in on the defense and probably put a few young guys in themselves. So that shows you that coaching is a well thought out plan here for this Faith Christian.
Defense doing an excellent job trying to contain this offense. Worth noting that their biggest gain of this was a run, and it looks like they're going to try and run it again now. That's Micah Smith again, the one responsible for that big previous run. And of course, we can't discredit Judah Bush for the Bush push, as the PA appropriately names it. Not quite moving the chains. About a good, 3 yards away?
3-4 yards.
As they break now, get set to run this next play in the red zone. Looks like a timeout is called.
Timeout. East Central, they're first.
That'll be East Central's first timeout of the second half.
Correction.
Or East Central's second, forgive me. All right, and I just want to remind everybody of our schedule that's coming up. After this, we have Augusta versus Tennessee. That game, of course, will be at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. We have 2 games at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, one of those being Cincinnati versus Cabarrus. Then we have another one at the small field on the 8-Man Extreme Tennessee YouTube channel, that being Tennessee versus ASP, followed by our last game at 7 Eastern, that being Evangel at APA. What a great schedule we have lined up, or should I say Evangel versus APA. These are all neutral site games, but what an amazing schedule we have laid out ahead of us. Of course, this game being a very entertaining thriller for the most part. And we got Faith Christian now, who's been running away from it, or running away with it for this whole second half now. And it looks like East Central is going to try and close the score gap with what little bit they can here at the end of the fourth quarter. And he almost gets, and he survives, but the referees blow the whistle. The crowd not liking that call.
Honestly, that's a bad call from the refs there. If your guy's still free, let him go. Don't try to, I get this is a blowout, but just let the boys play. They're getting some runs here.
That was Judah Bush. He never went down, but the officials called the play dead.
And I get it for player safety, but like I said, if the guy's still up and still running, let him go. That should have been a touchdown.
The East Central crowd, of course, not liking that one at all, especially if you're the parents of Judah Bush there. And here we go now. He drops back to pass. This is Dax Vaughn. Rolls to his left. Survives with the spin move. Still on his feet. Now he's rolling right. He gets the pass off. And it's caught. Are you kidding me? Nick Nelson with the completion.
Man, he looks like Kyle Murray out there, just able to scramble around, improvise till somebody can get open. Look at that spin move just to get off and a nice bounce away. Found the guy right there wide open. Great recovery by the defense because he was only a few inches away to get a touchdown.
Great on Vaughn for shaking the men off, but also shout out to Nick Nelson for catching that one in tight coverage. A great play from both of them. But it is a turnover on downs, no doubt. But yeah, despite the amazing survival on that play, he didn't quite cross the chain plane there, so it's not going to be a first down, and it looks like this ball is going to be back in Faith Christian's possession. This one snapped and handed off. He's going to try and find some room. That's Jordan Rue, who's tackled. They're going to try and keep this one on the ground and keep this clock rolling. East Central has a timeout left, but he's got a player down for East Central. I believe that's Dax Vaughn. Or excuse me, that's Henry Lacey that went down on that play, not Vaughn, but he's back up and they're walking him to his players.
Just a lot of guys out here catching cramps in this heat. You gotta be able to drink that water and pickle juice. So it's gonna be the two things to save you. Maybe eat some bananas here and there too.
Oh, yeah. Looks like teams are returning to the field now, since he appears to be okay.
And it's very hard to get used to this heat because this is mountain heat. So it's way different from what these kids are probably accustomed to.
Here we go. This is Hinton now, who pitches it over left to Rue. Jordan Rue shakes a man off, gets the first down, and Faith Christian converts.
And Rue maybe a little smaller than usual, but he does run like a champion, big heart, just able to get through guys easily.
And they're just going to keep trying to move the chains, get this clock ticked down so they can walk home as winners here in the Black Bear Brawl. Done a great job in this game. They have 47 points. Great offense, great defense, great special teams. They've had a very well-rounded playing. They've showed out well in this game. East Central, of course, doing good in their own right. They had a good little run on special teams to start the half, but Faith Christian has started to run away with it as soon as possible. The defense wasn't able to close them up. Here we go now as he fakes the handoff and runs left now. This is, I believe that was Blade Hinton, who runs out of bounds and gets the first down.
That's just the danger of Blade Hinton. Really, this Faith Christian offense in general, you have two great running backs in Jordan Rue and Vincent Wilson. Then you also have to worry about Blade Hinton not only from a passing perspective, but a running perspective as well, because you're going to be so concentrated on those two running backs that you lose sight of him. Possibly co-MVP with Vincent on the side.
Getting set in the huddle here to close this one out. The clock, of course, still ticking. We're at 43 seconds to end this one, at least according to the scoreboard clock here in the stadium. Faith Christian now in the victory formation, and they clock it. And that timer's going to continue to run down as they look to close this one out.
And just to remind folks real quick, anybody who wins the MVP gets an automatic bid to the All-American Bowl here in December.
And with that final second, that concludes this game. Stay tuned for the trophy presentation for the MVP coming shortly after this quick post-game handshake session. It's been a great game throughout this whole first showing here in the Black Bear Brawl. What a performance here by Faith Christian. 47-18 is our final score here. I'm Preston McElhaney alongside Brendan Daniel here with 8-Man Extreme. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the MVP award presentation. You don't want to miss it.
1, go.
And there you have it for the end of this post-game show of Vincent Wilson there, the DB of Faith Christian there, and one of the biggest leading contributors to this team, winning MVP. Brendan, what are your thoughts on such an accomplishment here in the Black Bear Brawl?
I mean, Vincent himself, he just took this team in the second half and just handled business. I mean, the kid possibly ran for like triple digits when it comes to yardage and 2 touchdowns and a kick return. He definitely deserves it. But this team was just all about experience. Everybody from the top to the bottom, everybody had great experience. Everybody executed every offensive play well, and that defense held strong against the C Central.
Yes, they did, and what a game that was. Congratulations to Vincent Wilson. Congratulations to Faith Christian. What a game. And on behalf of the crew here, we're going to go ahead and sign off and lead you into the next game. Reminder, that is at 1 Eastern time with Augusta and the Tennessee Tigers. Once again, guys, I am Preston McElhaney. Alongside me is Brendan Daniel. Thank you guys for watching this exciting matchup on the 8-Man Extreme official YouTube channel.